Welcome back to Not Alone with Melissa Sue Methvin. And today I'm recording in Cannes, in France. I am here for the premiere of Shield, which is a documentary series for women's health. And also, they're creating the documentary Goodbye Old Dentistry, which is bring awareness for biological dentistry, which I am very much a part of the mission of shifting the industry. That's why I've had many biological dentists on. I work for a biological dentist because if I can empower you as the patient, it's supply and demand. The more we demand this kind of treatment in the mouth, which is the mirror to your entire health and body systems. And today I have the honor to have the pioneer of biological dentists, Dr. Patel.
Oh, such a pleasure to be here, Melissa. This is so exciting. Love what you do and your gorgeous smile.
Thank you.
And just delighted to share a lot of love for the profession, for the people, for our purpose.
Yes, absolutely. For our purpose, I definitely felt that calling, especially once my husband passed. And once I wrote my book, The Truth Behind the Smiles, which was my whole story, I was so inspired by many dentists to write an entire chapter about the world of dentistry because I'm pretty 100% sure my husband had mercury poisoning from removing amalgam fillings because we were known as we were in Wasilla, Alaska as the cosmetic dentist, and all he did was remove amalgams for so long. And as you drill into these silver fillings, they're made of mercury. So you're breathing in these gases, which harms the dentist, but also the patient. And I came to that realization after I had Dr. Michelle Jorgensen on, and she shared her own poisoning, mercury poisoning. So this is where I felt a calling now to educate the patient, to dive into biological dentistry, which now I love working for Dr. Shreve and Dr. Dasanti. So I'd love to hear from you and how you got into the journey of biological dentistry.
I feel like, Michelle, you said really, we turn our pain into our purpose. Is what we do. So for me, I got into biological dentistry because I, got out of dental school. I interviewed at a lot of places. I could not work there because there were just drill and fill dentists. And so I decided I was going to open my own practice. And I decided I was going to open a eco-friendly, sustainable practice. I was super excited, very just excited, ready. The space got built out. February 8th. I still remember it, 2008 at that time. And then the night before I was supposed to open doors, we got a call at midnight at home, and we're just really wondering like who's calling at midnight, and didn't think anything of it. But long behold, I could hear my mom scream, and it's because my brother, who was the age of 33, died of a heart attack. I'm going to repeat that. My brother, the age of 33, died of a heart attack. That is not normal. That should not happen. And especially because he had seen an oral maxillofacial surgeon 2 weeks prior for an extraction. He had gone to the ER and telling the medical doctors he had chest pain. They told him he had acid reflux and they sent him home. And so now I'm looking at the medical system and saying he saw a maxillofacial surgeon. So this is a dentist plus a medical doctor. And then he saw another ER doctor who said nothing was wrong. He'd given his symptoms, and I'm getting a call at midnight saying he passed away at the age of 33. Something is wrong. Something is broken. So I wanted to make sure that I looked beyond the superficial. I wanted to look at the sources of disease. I want to know what had happened. I knew we had missed something. And as I saw that, I learned. I put myself in education. I started looking at what are some root causes? What are some things that we're missing? And gosh, I found so many things. It's not just about diet and exercise. A lot of it actually has to do with genetics. A lot of it has to do with the oral microbiome. It has to do with sleep apnea. And as I discovered more and more things, I realized that I wanted to turn my pain into purpose so nobody else gets a call at midnight. Nobody else has a brother that they have to grieve for years, kind of like you. And that's when I really started my process with biological. I grew up in India, so I've been a holistic lifestyle, Ayurvedic dentist, a holistic dentist. And then I call myself biological because I really look at how the biology works of the mouth. What I'm really looking at is how can I make your body work better on its own without me, without pills and peptides and all sorts of other stuff. I really want to see what is it that I can do to help patients live longer, better, and enjoy their life because they deserve it. And so that's how I started 20 years ago. I actually graduated in 2005. And now this is 2026. So 21 years now, practicing and loving every minute of it and struggling, as you said about your husband. Dentistry's hard, physically, mentally, emotionally. We're holding patients, we're holding this whole human being that is so scared, that is so terrified, that is nervous, that has so many questions, concerns, and we're looking after them. We're looking after ourselves, and we're looking after our team. So when we're holding so many responsibilities, it is taxing, it is hard, and yet we love it. And yet I love it, and I wouldn't change it for the world because this really is my purpose. This really is my passion. Is and I've designed the program into something I can really follow for patients. I call it the Aegis Longevity System by Dr. Nammy, and I like that because I wanted to make sure nobody gets that call. And I looked at how can I make that happen as a dentist. So I always start with the airway. I always start at the root, the airway, airway, airway. If you're not breathing, you're not alive. So we have to make sure that you're breathing properly and really making sure you're getting good quality air. So you're getting that nitric oxide so that you can heal on your own. Then I look at the gums, the gut, the glymph through the oral microbiome, along with your genetics, so that I can do treatment with precision. I can make sure we can help prevent chronic illnesses like heart attack, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer, arthritis. Then I look at energy, mitochondrial energy. What is overloading the mitochondria? And those are hidden infections. Even mercury, right? Mercury is going to bind. It does not allow your mitochondria to work better. It's going to bind to glutathione, which is your amino acids pretty much everywhere in your body. So, also cavitations, failed root canals. Then I look at the S, which is sculpting, regeneration, and smile design. You have a beautiful smile. We want you to be feeling good inside and out. We want you to look good inside, look good outside. We want you to feel good inside, feel good outside, so that our inner worlds are matching the outer worlds. And that's really important from not just from an emotional state, but from a cellular state. When we're looking at the mouth as a window, as the ability, the capability to help heal patients, to help them optimize, to live longer, disease free, but also making sure that they are on purpose and they are living their missions. They are able to spend time with their loved ones, being able to enjoy this beautiful life that we have.
I truly feel the mouth is the number one place people should look at. And it's oftentimes, like you said, your brother, it's oftentimes the last place they look at. Or they don't correlate it to the mouth. Where so that's why I'm trying to advocate for patients. If symptoms are starting, go look at biological dentists. I'll look to the root cause and look at, I love the cellular. You look on a cellular level, the whole body. When I work now, I look at them out, I could see a whole life story. It's like a mirror for me. And I start, oh, what's happening? Like the stress, the nervous system, and how it all shows up in the mouth. It's all a big story. And each tooth is aligned to every organ, right? And energetically, if we're blocked, there's an infection, then it's going to affect anybody. So I almost feel that should be number one place.
I absolutely agree. You heal the mouth, you heal the body,
Mhm.
and that really is a true saying. And you know what? How I know? We've been doing it in Ayurveda for thousands of years. India's been around for a very long time. People live a very long, healthy life. And, my own great grandfather lived till almost 100, happy, healthy, able able-minded, able-bodied, which is really important because we want to live, but live well. I want to be 120, is what
Yes.
I like to say, but I don't want Alzheimer's.
No.
I want to be 120. I want to run a marathon. I want to remember things. I want to enjoy time with my husband, with my nieces, my nephews. I still want to be working. I never want to retire dentistry because I feel like it is one of the most amazing professions on this planet that allows you to impact patients so much, and you build a lifelong friendship.
Yes, so true.
And
Yeah, you
it's
see them grow,
right,
right?
it's
Yes. Yes.
transformation. And when we can do it on a high level like biological dentistry does, it really is a true asset because we're looking at preventing disease 20 years from now. For example, I'm close to 50, so if I'm one of my 70s to be looking good, I need to be working on that now.
So true.
And there's over 500 articles now, by the way, that tell you that the mouth is the key to longevity.
Mm.
The mouth is a key to help you live longer. The mouth is a key to be able to find silent infections, remove them so your mitochondrial DNA or your mitochondrial functions actually work better. Getting rid of the mercury is going to get rid of the neurotoxin because mercury is a neurotoxin. Being able to remove that is going to help your memory. So many beautiful things we can do just from this 4x4.
Yeah, it can give you that longevity because that's what it's that vitality. What if you have 10 more years left? How do you want to live it? I look at my grandfather who's 97. He dances the tango and the salsa 3, 4 times a week. He walks. He's just so alive. And that's what my goal is as well. And I think going in with looking at the mouth, because oftentimes, like you talked about cavitation, and I've had, other dentists talk about that inflammation in the mouth, that infection, your body's always trying to fight that. So it's always busy doing that. So it's avoiding everything else. So starting to treat there and becoming aware is so important. So I always say, look in the mouth first. Look in the mouth first. It's oftentimes the last place, and sometimes it's too late.
It is. We find that majority of the patients with chronic illnesses, so often I find patients with arthritis, this is after and I could really tell the story because I could tell you exactly 20 years ago what happened to them. Because from the time they get diagnosis, which is usually about 40 plus, what we find is if we go back to the 20s, we'll see that they've had braces. They're not breathing through their nose really well. And then what I've noticed is that they'll get a cavity and they'll break a tooth because they're grinding their teeth. They'll end up with one cavity, then they'll go to another, end up with a root canal. By mid 30s, they've had that root canal replaced. By 40s, they've had that root canal redone on pretty much all their molars because they've cracked all of them. And then come 42, 43, they're diagnosed with arthritis, or they're diagnosed with thyroid, or they're diagnosed with some sort of autoimmune condition. And, if we could just trace it back 20 years, we'll see that something was off. Or a patient who had, their wisdom teeth extracted at 16 and their bone didn't heal correctly. When their bone didn't heal correctly, they ended up with a cavitation. By the time they come to around their 30s and 40s, we'll see chronic illnesses. We'll see, the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with me. I have so many different things. I don't feel good. Something is wrong. I know it, but nobody can help me, are the things that we hear. Or I see a, 42, 43-year-old woman says, I have had 3 kids. I used to feel amazing about myself. I used to have so much energy, but now I just feel dead inside. I feel so exhausted. I feel so drained. And I really want to have energy to spend with my children. I really want to play with them. I really want to have my self esteem back. I really want to feel good about me. And how can you help me do that? Because the doctors are saying everything is fine. I don't understand. I take my supplements, I work out, I do everything I'm supposed to do. I eat pretty healthy, but really something is wrong and I know it and nobody else seems to know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
so true. I see that. And do you see that for like cardiac arrest?
Yes,
Right?
yes, all the time.
Because I think it's not talked about. It's like almost a hush hush. But I have a feeling that sometimes when there's those quick little heart attack and everybody was really healthy, I'm always so curious. Okay, well, what did he have, an infection in the mouth?
Yes, always. If we trace back, there's actually an organization called the Bale Donine Institute based in Seattle, and they actually are medical doctors and cardiologists that have created this protocol together to be able to help prevent heart attacks. Their number one thing that they say in order to prevent a heart attack is going to be clean out the oral microbiome, fix the sleep, fix the hidden infections. And if you do that, you maintain, you will be heart attack free. And it's really amazing how many patients I have in my practice who have gone through that program and have found me because I was trained by them. And they really see how we're able to help and how their biomarkers change like this and how they start feeling confidence in their health, because that's the key, is that I want confidence in my health. I don't want to feel like it. I want to know that I have confidence in my health because I know that I'll feel good and I know my biomarkers will be good too.
Yes. Oh, this is so good. I'm like, I feel I could ask you so many questions, but
Yeah.
I I'd love to dive into you as well for the mental health of the dentist,
Yes.
and how you said it is challenging, and you love. And my husband had always said he loved to do clinical, but he doesn't want to have to deal with everything else.
Yes.
And so, what are you doing to maintain that enthusiasm for what you're doing and your drive for your
Right.
own nervous system to
Yeah.
kind of maintain, to be able to see, because it is I call it mirror neurons, right? Our nervous
Yeah.
system will mirror, which oftentimes the patient is a lot of fear, and we pick that up on a constant day-to-day
Right.
basis for the dentist.
Yeah.
So what are you doing
Yeah.
that dentists can incorporate?
So I am really big on my morning routine. What I do to maintain my sanity is what I call it. Is wake up at 5. I meditate daily. That time for me is really important because I feel like I want to quiet the mind and I want to set my intentions. I always like to do a prayer to make sure that the world is going to be a beautiful place and that we can all help one another. I start with those ideas and prayers. Then I like to sit for 20 minutes and just receive from the universe and just, you know, put out how I would like my day to go. I like to be grateful and really spend that time just bathing in that good energy, filling up my bucket. And then I start with the most important thing, which is my husband. So we sit together. We like to have a cup of coffee. We like our Wordle.
I love that. That's
Yes.
cute.
So we like to sit by the
Yeah,
fireplace.
connection. Yeah,
Yes.
connection.
And the important things that matter, right,
Yes.
is making sure my bucket's full. I'm able to pour into his. We have that connection. I start with my team when I get to work. I connect with them, and then I start my day with the patients because I know that if I take care of the most important things and people in my world, everything else will work out. If I take care of myself, I know that I will be a better communicator. I know that I'll be able to think clearly because I'm not anxious or nervous with the patient. I know that I've spent time with my husband and we've spent time together. I know that if I'm home late, I'm not going to worry. I know that I took care of our connection time. Or God forbid, something happens on my way to work. If I was hit by a bus. Uh, One thing that I've realized as my brother has passed away is that I want to live every moment if it's my last. So we do everything we want to. We live the way we want to. And I don't want, so I always say that I want, it's being that person. If this was, I don't have any regrets. Most people live in regrets. I have zero regrets. I'm very happy with all that I've done, all that I've failed at, coming to peace
Those are
with that.
gifts, yes.
Yeah. And, even being here around all these wonderful people, it's just so lovely.
Yes.
And, we're all on their different journeys. And it's really self acceptance. There are things I'm good at, there are things I'm not good at.
Right, yes.
And just owning it instead of trying to mask it and being able to be okay.
Okay, to ask
Um,
for help, to take time for you,
yes.
and then be able to give back in community, and
Yeah.
finding that balance, which is often hard, but you're making that space for that.
Yeah.
And if you have some new graduate or some dentists are really wanting to make that shift to become from biological dentists. Do you provide any
Yes,
guidance that
we
way?
do. Actually, I have training programs for dentists. So you can go to drnammypatel.com. And then I actually have an online program, which is really nice because it really starts with the basics. And it starts, the most important thing about a biological dentist is to start thinking at things differently. Because dentistry has always told you if there's a hole, plug it. If there's a hole, plug it. If there's this, do this. If this is, do that. Biological dentistry isn't like that. It's more of a thinking cap. Like, let's put on our thinking cap and think differently. So you start have to connect the dots from here to here to there to there. So my program actually starts to do that. It talks about basic things about oral microbiome. It talks about the functional airway. It's pretty cost effective. You can start there. You can always reach out to me. More than happy to go through training and coaching and even run through the practice and see what it's like. Because even through biological dentists, we'll realize there's certain things we like to do and certain things we don't. And we don't have to do it all. We have to be on a gradient, right? So, being able to, like, surgery isn't my favorite thing in the world. I mean, yes, I do it, but it's not my favorite. But, just realizing that there's things that we really gravitate towards and there's things that we don't gravitate towards. But then we build a community and we share patient we send to one another so that they can be well taken care of.
Oh, that's so needed.
Yeah,
Actually, I try
yeah.
and inspire dental students. So I had dental student pass by on the crosswalk the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, have you heard of biological dentistry?" And they hadn't. I'm like, "You should look it up."
Yes, absolutely.
Should really inspire a lot of the
Yeah.
students. Yeah.
And I think biological dentistry really should be the future. It's been
Mhm.
my advocacy work for a very long time. And I absolutely feel like, biological dentistry is really, I think patients are going to demand it.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
I think that in the next 20, 30 years, that is going to be a huge change.
Mhm.
And I'm really excited to be part of the
Yeah,
journey.
I'm excited too. I'm
Yeah.
really excited. And what an honor to have you on today, Dr. Patel. Thank you
Um,
so much for sharing. And I'm, going to continue advocating for biological dentistry. And I know that shift is coming. So
yes,
thank you.
absolutely. Wonderful.
Well, if you guys love this episode, please like and share it and subscribe. And once again, thank you for listening.